11 people, one house, all dead, no struggle, and no sign of forced entry. 10 nakabitin na perfect line. Same position, same knots, same everything. Tapos, one lying lifeless on the bed. Sa tabi nila, may mga notebook na may detailed instructions kung paano nila dapat itali yung sarili nila. Ito guys yung story na sobrang chilling kasi hindi mo alam kung may cult, may mass suicide o psychological breakdown na nangyari. And the creepiest part, it all happened inside what looked like a happy, normal family home. So in this episode guys, we're diving deep into one of the most disturbing, mind-bending cases in modern India, the Burari deaths. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Burari is a neighborhood sa North Delhi. Middle class area, tahimik, parang typical na residential street. So doon nakatira ang Chundawat family, also known locally as the Bhatia family. They owned a grocery and hardware shop sa ground floor ng bahay nila. Now, may 11 members na nakatira doon. Yung matriarch, si Narayani Devi, age 77. Yung anak niya na lalaki, si Bhuvnesh Lalit Pratibha. Yung mga asawa ng mga anak niya, si Savita, Tina, and yung mga anak nila, mix of teens and young adults, si Nitu, Monu, Shivam, Minu, and Dhruv. They seem like your regular Indian family. Hardworking, religious, tsaka close-knit sila. Yung mga kapitbahay nila, love na love sila kasi mabait naman sila, generous, tahimik, tapos laging sabay-sabay kumakain, sabay-sabay sila nagsisimba. They were normal, or at least, that's what everyone thought. July 1, 2018, Sunday morning, around 7 a.m. Napansin ng kapitbahay na hindi pa nagbubukas yung grocery nila. Ang weird kasi never daw silang na-late magbukas. So now, itong kapitbahay nila decided to check. So kumatok siya, walang sumasagot. Sumilip siya sa bintana. Doon na siya sumigaw. Kasi ang nakita niya, sa loob ng bahay, nakabitin yung 10 katawan, lined up in a circle formation, facing the same direction. May cloth sa muka, cotton sa tenga, at tali sa kamay. Lahat barefoot. Isa lang yung hindi nakabitin, yung lola, si Narayani Devi. Nakahiga siya sa kama, sugi din. Yung aso nila na si Tommy, nakatali sa terrace. Buhay naman pero nanginginig tsaka umiiyak. Now, within minutes, dumating na yung pulis, and what they saw haunted them for years. Okay guys, let me paint the picture for you. Yung hallway sa second floor, may iron grill. Yung parang cage-like structure. Doon nakasabit yung 10 katawan. Yung parang may ritualistic arrangement. Tapos may mga stool doon na ginamit pang akyat. Pero after gamitin, itinabi. Neat, organized. Tapos sa floor, may mga notebook doon, 11 of them. Ang nakasulat doon, do not be afraid. The moment is coming. You will not die. The spirit will protect you. Tapos yung handwriting guy, consistent siya for years. All written by one person. Si Lalit. Okay, so ang tanong nating lahat, sino si Lalit? So si Lalit, he was the youngest son, around 45 years old. So tahimik lang siya, very disciplined, and extremely religious. So after matsugi nung tatay nila noong 2007, si Lalit somehow took over the role of head of the family. Pero may something strange sa kanya. Kasi noong 2004, na-aksidente siya guys, head injury. And after noon, naging na siya, withdrawn. He lost his voice for a while. As in, literal na hindi siya nagsasalita for months. And then later on, he claimed na yung kaluluwa daw ng tatay niya started communicating with him through dreams, visions, and thoughts. Tapos doon na nagsimula yung kakaiba. Kasi naniwala siya na yung tatay niya was giving him instructions how to protect the family, how to perform rituals, and how to reach salvation. And he started writing everything down sa notebook. Okay guys, now when investigators opened the diaries, ang laman nun ay 11 years worth of ritual notes. May mga nakasulat na fix the pipes in the ceiling to hold everyone. The time will come when the banyan tree ritual will happen. Do not fear, I will save you. Tapos guys, meron pang isang chilling entry that matched exactly kung paano sila natagpuan. So, ang nakasulat doon, everyone should tie the cloth in the same way. Eyes covered, mouth covered, ears plugged. Keep faith. You will not die. The spirit will rescue you. Tapos guys, yung date sa notebook, a few days before the incident. So, this wasn't random. Planado siya, step by step. Now guys, autopsy results confirmed na 10 family members died due to asphyxia by hanging. Tapos si Narayani Devi died by ligature strangulation, meaning sinakal siya manually. Walang signs of struggle, wala ring drugs, at walang forced entry. It's like, they all willingly participated. At ayon sa forensic handwriting experts, lahat ng notes, prayers, and diary entries gawa ni Lalit mismo. Consistent for over a decade. So, police concluded na it wasn't murder. It was a ritualistic suicide. Okay, so let's talk about the psychology behind this kasi dito talaga nagiging interesting. A lot of experts believe na this is a case of shared psychotic disorder, or in other words, induced delusion. So basically guys, isang tao may delusion. For example, naniniwala siya na nakakausap niya yung spirit ng tatay niya. At dahil sobrang tiwala sa kanya ng mga kasama niya, lahat sila ngayon unti-unting naniniwala rin. Parang psychological chain reaction. Now, si Lalit, diba, naniwala siya na ginaguide siya ng tsugi niyang tatay, yung spirit ng tatay niya. So, he convinced the family that this final ritual would bring them closer to salvation. Ang hindi nila alam, matutsugi silang lahat dun. But here's the creepiest part. Some entries mentioned that after the ritual, they would wake up. Meaning, akala nila, temporary lang to. Hindi nila naisip na matutsugi sila permanently. Ito guys, sabi ng mga kapitbahay nila, the family seemed perfectly normal. Kasi lagi silang sabay-sabay magdasal every night at 10 p.m. Pero minsan, naririnig daw silang may sabay-sabay na chanting. Tsaka minsan sabay-sabay ding nakapikit tas nakatas yung kamay. Parang mini ritual. One neighbor even said na Lalit was the most disciplined man I knew. He never even raised his voice. Pero behind that calm, something darker was brewing pala. June 30, 2018, the day before silang lahat matsugi, the family was preparing para sa kasal ni Nitu. Oo guys, may upcoming wedding pa dapat. Kasi umorder pa sila ng mga sweets, bumili sila ng mga bagong damit, tsaka nag-invite pa sila ng mga relatives. So, wala talagang signs of depression or panic. Kasi lahat normal eh. Pero that night, they performed a special prayer led by Lalit. And the next morning, yun na, tsugi na silang lahat. Okay guys, let's talk about theories kasi medyo mangilan-ngilan to. Ano ba talaga yung mga possibility na nangyari sa kanila? So theory number 1 ay cult ritual. So some said baka may secret cult daw pero wala namang ebidensya. Tsaka walang outsider involved. Theory number 2, murder disguised as suicide. Kasi family members who lived outside the house said na imposible daw. They were too strong in faith to do that. But again, no sign of struggle, tsaka no outsiders. Theory number 3 ay shared delusion leading to accidental death. Ito yung pinaka-supported theory guys na the family didn't intend to die. Kasi they thought na it was a spiritual exercise guided by their father's soul or by their father's spirit. So, in a twisted way, no, yun nga sabi ko kanina, they thought they were saving themselves, not ending their lives. So guys, after the incident, naging malaking media circus to sa India. Kasi every news outlet had a headline like 11 found hanging, no signs of murder. Ganun ng atake. Tapos noong 2021, Netflix released a documentary titled House of Secrets, The Burari Deaths. Napanood ko to guys. Grabe to kasi pinakita nila yung actual footage ng investigation tsaka pati yung psychological interviews with experts. So the show also exposed how tabu pa rin yung mental health sa India, lalo na sa tight-knit families. Walang nagsasalita, lahat tahimik lang kahit na obvious nang may problema. Yung case na to guys, yung Burari Deaths, naging symbol siya of how blind faith, grief, and isolation can destroy even the most loving family. Hindi lang to story ng nasiraan ng bait guys, no? It's the story of people who loved each other so much na they followed one man's delusion to the very end. At kung tutuusin, no, ito rin yung story ng mental health stigma na kapag tahimik, mabait, tsaka relihiyoso yung tao, iniisip nating, okay lang yan siya, kaya niya yan. Pero minsan, no, tahimik lang kasi natatakot siya. Or may something na palang tumatakbo sa utak niya. So kayo guys, What do you think really happened that night in Burari? Was it faith gone too far? Do you think it was purely psychological, or could there have been something supernatural behind it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if may iba ka pang story suggestions, whether crime, mystery, or kahit historical scandal na gusto mong i-deep dive natin next, no? Comment mo lang or i-DM mo ko. Malay mo yan yung next Dark Chika natin. Real stories, twisted endings, Dark Chika. This is Sa Likod ng Kwento with me, Apple Season, and as always, don't forget to like, follow, share, and save, and I hope to see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay curious. Bye!